Can you briefly summarize the article you did yesterday? Talk about these biological labs that are in Wuhan and what aspect you think they may have in this crisis?
What I've identified is the sole declared facility in China capable of handling deadly viruses. In other words, this is the place where they do all of their civilian research. And I spoke with a former Israeli military intelligence officer who studied the Chinese biological warfare program, and he says that this institute is clearly linked to this covert Chinese biological warfare program. Now, we have no evidence that this current coronavirus leaked from that institute, but in China and the way secrecy works and the lack of controls, it's certainly possible that this outbreak of this animal virus could have come from one of their biological weapons labs. There's also a second facility in Wuhan that's also linked to the biological weapons program. Again, that's a secret program that last year the State Department, in its annual report on arms compliance, stated fairly bluntly that they believe that China is engaged in a covert offensive biological weapons program. Obviously, they've deployed military forces in Wuhan in order to prevent people from leaving the city or entering the city. So it's clearly a crisis for the communist regime in Beijing. The Communist Party of China, the way they rule is they are really not concerned about the outbreak of this coronavirus. They're concerned about the survival of the communist regime. And so they were slow to deal with this issue in the beginning point because they didn't think they had to. Then the New Year's came, and still there was very little high-level attention to this problem. So clearly now they're kind of scrambling to try and contain this threat, which they think in terms not what's good for the Chinese people, but they think what's good or bad for the Communist Party of China.